Well, good afternoon. Um, I'm just wanting to talk about my little trip that I took on the Jewel of the Seas. I went on a cruise and it was very, very exciting as I have to move around a few things here. Go. I have some very, very bad habits. So you have to excuse if you see smoke just filtering across the screen. Hello, Sherry. Well, anyway, I went on the Jewel of the Seas and I had a very, very exciting time. Um, I didn't do too much. It was more of a very resting holiday. I didn't take as many videos as I wanted to take. Um, so, otherwise, it was pretty good. But I did do some exciting things. I did an all access um, tour, and that was exciting. And I got this wonderful little pass that they give to everybody. It actually looks like a key tag and, a lanyard as well. And that was really exciting. We were not allowed to do any videos. Hello, Sherry. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. So that was a lot of fun. Like I said, they did not allow you to take any videos, but you were allowed to take photographs. So I did. I got a lot of photographs of behind the scenes. Um, we got to go up to the bridge. We got to see where the captain sits. We got to see all the stuff they see, like the little floor part in the bridge where they can kind of look down at the to where the side of the ship is. That was so cool to see the ship from that view. The other place that we also got to go, we got to see their laundry facilities, which is absolutely huge. And they also showed how, like, even the staff, when they bring the linens down, that they actually do separate them, and they have a lot of really, really huge machinery that they put all the laundry through, um, to sort it, going up through to wash it and wring it out, etc. And it's quite a big system. It, you know what? I saved so I could afford to do it because I always thought, oh my gosh, it's a lot of money. And when I have to change over money because I am Canadian, I have to change it over into American. In order for me to buy an American dollar, it costs me $1.35 Canadian in order to buy one American dollar. So when something costs $90 approximately, essentially that's costing me about 130 to $140, which is a lot of money. Maybe a little less than that. I might be exaggerating a bit, but it still adds up. But now that I've done it, I am definitely doing it on my next cruise. I wish I had done it on the Anthem because it was such a bigger ship. It it would have been quite amazing. The other thing that was really good about it was that when they took it through, they had people from each department actually talk about exactly what they do in that department and how they do it. Oh no, I'm in Canada, so every cruise is a fly, and cruise trip. So it my holidays end up costing more, and as I realized, Sherry, that I think you have to do the fly and cruise thing. As a Canadian, I know some people do drive to Florida, but I'm not a glutton for punishment. I am not going to drive for 2 days in order to get to a cruise port to do a cruise and then have to drive home after I'm all relaxed to be stressed driving back to Canada, and especially in winter. Just much easier for me to jump on an airplane and I'm in Florida in 3.5 hours on a direct flight, and the cost is reasonable. You know, usually most of our flights, you can usually get something between 300 and 500, pretty easy in Canadian dollars to get down to Florida. So also the other thing that we did see on the tour was, trying to remember, they showed us the food. Oh, the other thing that I thought was so exciting, they took us into the recycling center. How I know it's actually it could have smelt a lot worse for being the garbage room, but they went through and explained how they separated the garbage, how they recycled it, how they oh, you were saying you go to Galveston? Okay. That's awkward. Is that an easy is Galveston Airport near to where the cruise leaves, or is it still quite a driving distance? Is that really close to the cruise port? Yes, they recycle really, really well. And you know what? For a garbage room, it really does not smell really bad. They even recycle the grease from all the deep frying, which was amazing. You had to fly into Houston, and how far is it from Houston to the cruise port? You know, that would be interesting because that's something I actually have thought about. Um, I've only been in the Houston airport once, about 50 miles. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. I think that's something to watch for if I ever can find a good price. Oh, you did the transfer through the cruise line to get to the port. That's a smart thing, actually. Um, that's how I do it all the time. And even with flying from up here in Canada, be, because of our weather, when my travel agent books the cruise, I have them book the flight through the cruise line and for them to book my transfer as well. So this way everything is seamless. Even when I flew out to go on that cruise, at the airport before our plane left, we had to go into the de-icing staging stage for them to de-ice the airplane before we could actually go to take off. And I did get some footage of the airplane being de-iced. It's really amazing. I've never seen that before. Um, so that was really cool. Uh, with what else did we do with behind the scenes? It was almost 2 hours long, the behind the scenes, and that is something that I will recommend that people do. The other thing I did It doesn't look like it now because I had my nails done, but I do a lot of stuff with my hands, and so it's chipped off. And I don't normally get my nails done, but that's something that I did on my last cruise, and I did on this cruise, and I will do it on my next cruise, is to go and get my nails done. And yes, it costs a little bit of money, but I don't get my nails done. I do my own nails at home. So I think it's a great treat to treat yourself when you're on a holiday. Now, I, like you, Sherry, I got a t shirt too. I got the Jewel of the Seas t shirt. Here you can see me. So I always like to get t shirts, and I kind of space out what little knickknacks that I buy because you got to leave something for the next cruise. Did you get any footage of your plane being de-iced? It's quite the process, isn't it? But I think we chose the one of the best weeks to be away. I know, I like purple. Yay. You're gonna have to join me on the Allure of the Seas. You should check out, I'm going January 5th, and you should, I know February's a good month. That's when I went on the Anthem last year. I went on in February. And so I also got the, sorry about that. I was just trying to open it. I got these cute towel pegs. I don't know if you want to see. It says cruising on one side, and on the other side it's got a little Royal Caribbean symbol, like the towel the towel clips to hang your towel on the back. And I thought, oh my gosh, they're so cute. I had to have them. Oh, you had on your ship too? I broke down. You always have to buy something that really doesn't make sense, because I had these other awesome towel pegs that I took that look like little dolphins. Those are the ones that I take with me on holidays, and I get them at my local travel store called Bentley's. But now I got cute little Royal Caribbean ones. So I didn't spend a lot of money on this holiday. It was exciting. I know. You know what? I don't do much. Believe it or not, my towel only makes it um, to the chair, and it's usually on the chair that I sit on to indulge my bad habit. Smoke cigarettes. No, it was only a 5 day. Mine was only a 5 day, but I got it at a really good price, um, that I couldn't resist. It was actually affordable for me to go solo. And when you go solo, you're kind of paying for a duo. Um, and no, it was such a good price. Basically, I don't know the exact price total, but including my if you figure my airfare, my transfers, paying for basically double occupancy, I spent under 1,500 Canadian for 5 days of respite. I couldn't have done that and gone to Niagara Falls for 5 days. Niagara Falls is a little expensive for me because usually that's not bad. And so that's why it was worth it. I got to see Super Mario, and that was one of the highlights. I was in the casino, and I heard this voice. I'm going, I've heard that voice before. Where have I heard that voice? And I'm looking, I'm going, oh, that person looks very familiar. And so I eventually got to meet him, got to have my picture taken with him. And so that was very exciting. Now, the decor, sorry, he was on our ship. You were really close. He is such a lovely man. He is so kind. You would really like him. He has got such a very nice personality. And now, when it comes to the Jewel of the Seas, it's an older ship. I believe it's only 90 tons, 90,000 tons. And it's an older decor, but it's really nice. There's a lot of dark wood. I wouldn't say antique, but I'm a person, I love antiques. I like vintage. You can probably tell from behind me. Oops. I collect carnival glass. Here's a carnival glass tumbler. I love old and vintage and antiques. Another another carnival glass vase. I have quite a lot of them. No, I really, really love my carnival glass. And I love my Susie Cooper pottery, which is amazing. You got to take a look at this. Gorgeous. Susie Cooper in a cereal bowl. This is, I believe, the nosegay pattern. It is so gorgeous. So I collect a lot of her pottery. Here's what the piece. Uh-oh. We have people phoning. 1 second. Hello, my bestie. Yes, can I call you back? No, I'm live. Bye. Okay, that was my bestie. So we have another piece of Susie Cooper pottery, which I really love. I don't know how many pieces I have, and I don't know how many pieces of carnival glass I have, but I have a lot. This piece is from the late 1930s. The other yellow pattern that we had is, I think that's the late, no, this is a little earlier than the late 30s. This one is late 30s into early 1940s. So it's so exciting collecting glass. And like I said, I didn't do too much on the holiday. I mostly rested, enjoyed the ship. Actually, unlike for my room steward, I actually had a better room steward on this ship than I did on the Anthem. I didn't care for, I wouldn't say I was unhappy with my room steward on the Anthem, but she always looked like she had a sourpuss face all the time. She didn't come across as a person that wanted anybody to talk to her. She looked sad. And believe it or not, it seemed like other room attendants were always kind of doing her job. Like, I wouldn't say doing her job. Maybe she had an issue that was going on. But it was almost like it seemed like other room stewards were picking up for her or having to cover for her for certain days or whatever. But the room steward I had this time was amazing, was attentive. And like you said, that like that ninja room steward thing, you zip out of your room, you're back in 10 minutes and the room's done. Like you just don't know how it did. You don't see them and all of a sudden your room's boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we kind of had that on the Jewel. And, but in the dining room, they had booked me as my time. I will never, ever do my time again. I didn't really want it, but I guess that's what was left when I had booked. I will always have set early dining. Hello, Nona Grace. Um, so what I didn't like was my main server was not the best. His assistant was amazing. And in the end, I tipped the assistant more money at the end than the head waiter. I do not like it. As soon as I got on the ship, I had to go. I went there and talked to the maitre d', made arrangements. Hello, Nona, and made arrangements to have them serve me at the exact same time for the whole cruise. Because I also have small dietary issues. I'm allergic to all seafood. Like I said, my head waiter, he tried, but he wasn't 100% spot on. His assistant was absolutely amazing. And they did make food for me that was not on the menu. Well, it wasn't really made. They just got me something a little bit different. Oh, hello, there's another person in here. I'm going to do, this is my signature wave. That's how everybody knows me here in this city. I always do in my signature wave. I'm born in England, so. Okay, what else happened on that trip? I don't know. I ate a lot of food and walked up and down and went to the helicopter pad and met a lot of people and met the people who had some dogs and one gentleman that had a accessibility dog with him, and it was the first time he's ever flown his dog has ever flown, the first time his dog's ever been on the ship. And the video, is it back? Did I disappear? Okay. I wonder what happened with that. You can hear a bit of an English accent. Well, I was born in England and my parents immigrated to Canada in 1969, and we moved into the Southern Ontario area. And you know what? Canada's wonderful and I absolutely love Canada. But we don't have enough cruise ports. Yes, Canadians do tend to travel quite a lot. Now, I might want to show you a couple of things because I was on another live streamer, a live streamer and a another travel vlogger, and I had one. It goes in and out. Oh, really? Hmm. I'm gonna have to check out why it does that. Maybe it's because sometimes if you move around too much, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna show you what I got. Cruising with Wheels sent me some stuff from their channel, and they sent me a lanyard from the Norwegian Bliss. And this is from Cruising with Wheels, another very good channel. And so they sent me two lanyards from that. And it's not on right now. And they also sent me a travel clock, which I think is really cool. I, I think that was it. But that was really nice of them. So if you ever get a chance, they also um, do a lot of travel stuff. So you should maybe check out their channel. Does anyone have any dream cruise ships they'd like to go on? I would like to try a really, really small, not a super small ship, but I would like to go on one of those boutique cruise ships that hold about 300 or 400 people. Um, that would be exciting. And I'm hoping I could maybe do that within the next couple of years, but we're going to have to see. Am I still fading out at all? Oh, river cruises in Europe, yes. Do you have a favorite one, Sherry, that you'd like to try? Um, Emerald Waterways has some really nice ones. And maybe one day. I know my parents want to give that a try because they've not done the river cruises yet. Um, but I'd like to do one of those Windstar cruises. Oh, Amma Waterways. Yes. Oh, that one is luxurious. I don't know if I'll be able to afford that one yet because I'd like to do one of those mega cruises because I still want to go see. My dream location is Easter Island. And my other dream location is the Falkland Islands. And I absolutely want to get there. And there's no cheap way to get to Easter Island. You want to do an Alaskan cruise? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it this summer? Or maybe next summer? Yeah, Alaska for me is a little bit down on the bucket list. Um, I just really need to get to the South Pacific to see all the heads in Easter Island, and I want to see the penguins in the Falkland Islands. Uh, yes, that is exactly what I'm gonna have to do. I may not sell any of these, any of my vintage or antique stuff, but there will be stuff that I am going to be purging and selling a lot of stuff to be able to afford the one that I want to do. I will pretty much sell everything in my house except my house and my car. Yeah, because unfortunately, I cannot afford to do several cruises a year. You've never heard of those islands? Well, Easter Island, if Now, you, Sherry, as a travel agent, you may be able to look up this airline. It's called Lamtam or Lamtam Airlines. I know for us as Canadians, you can get a flight from Toronto directly. So you can fly direct from Toronto to Santiago, Chile. And I don't know, it's a mega long flight. So once you get there, you transfer to LATAM Airlines. It's a South American Airlines. And then you fly from there to Easter Island. And it's about a 5.5 hour flight from Santiago, Chile to Easter Island. And it costs a fortune. So it comes back to it. Do me and my husband go and spend $6,000 just to get there with no hotel and stay for a week? Or do we figure out and spend even more of a fortune and go do it on a cruise? So that's something that's probably in the 5 year or so bucket list. Now, the other place is the Falkland Islands. If you were to look at the map of South America and you look at the very, very bottom tip, there is a city at the very bottom tip of South America, and it's called, I'm not, may not be pronouncing it right. I think it Ushuaia or Yusha or Ushuaia is at the very bottom tip. Now, they have a lot of exploration cruises that are out of that very bottom tip that go into the Antarctic, um, and all around there, so that you can then see some of that area. But then they also can cruise out to go to the Falkland Islands as well, which you'll see. I think there's about a 3,500 population of people out there. And then that way you can then see the penguins out there. And then sometimes the other island that they might visit is the South Atlantic islands of, oh my goodness, trying to remember what's it called? The Sandwich Islands. But there's all these quaint places in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And that's where I'd like to go. And there's another little place that I'd like to go that's in the South Pacific. It's further into the South Pacific, and it's called the Pitcairn Islands. Now, there are cruise ships that do go there. It's usually a tender. I'm not always certain that they will let people on the island. I think they do have somebody from the island come out to the ship and do a presentation when the ship is nearby, and do a presentation on board your ship. But that island, I can see why they don't want too many people on it, because even the smallest cruise ship of 400 people is more than the population of that island. They're around 50 people. You might be familiar with the Mutiny on the Bounty. The people that are native to the Pitcairn Island, which you also have Henderson Island, they are the descendants of the people from the Mutiny on the Bounty. So there's a lot of history there. So even if they were to have people from a ship come on land, that's more than the population of literally everybody on that island. So usually they come out to the boat, and unfortunately, when I started looking it up, most of the ships that do go by there are on the famous world cruises. Hello, Dole Whip Dad. How are you? So, some of the places that are going to be very hard to get to, you're going to end up having to spend a fortune in order to see them. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. My little famous wave. My famous wave. Now, there's also another little interesting place. There's Tristan da Cunha. Now we're back over to the Atlantic Ocean. And Tristan da Cunha is one of those, Tristan da Cunha, St. Helena. They're in the South Atlantic Oceans. Very, very limited population, very small population. Some of the islands around there have next to nobody living there. Um, the closest place where they usually get their supplies for those islands are from in South Africa because that's the closest place to it, which is not really nearby at all. Um, Tristan da Cunha, St. Helena, basically the Ascension Islands, um, is the place where, what's that guy with the funny hat, the short guy, Bonaparte, where he was sent into Ascension. Hence, the place is literally in nowhere. And they have specific species of penguins that are in that area. Because they have some of the little penguins that are like, like a foot or so tall. So that would be another interesting place to visit. But they're usually on world cruises. They're usually on ships with a name like Silver Seas or Seabourn. And if you know the price of a 7-night Seabourn, you don't even want to know what even a Silver Sea world cruise or a Poignant Cruises world cruise would be. It's or Hapag Lloyd or Hurton. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of these companies that do world cruises, and they usually hit some of those lesser known places. So unfortunately, you end up having to pay quite out of pocket and spend, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 and something days on your holidays. Um, yeah. So anybody else has anything on their wish list of where they'd like to go somewhere maybe strange? Is there anything specific, Sherry, you'd like to see in Alaska that would make it exciting for you to go and see? I got kicked out. Oh boy, that's what happens when you're new to all of this. Thank you, Dad. Sorry about that. I got kicked out. It was kind of weird. Well, anyway, I think I should call this quits for now. Go make my husband some food. And don't forget to click like and subscribe. And leave some comments below. Let me know where your dream places to visit are. And we'll talk to you soon.